Hi there. I'm so happy you've joined us for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Coming up in this half-hour journey, we'll bring you up to date on government's COVID-19 response plan and the fiscal stimulus package to support economic activities. Sit back and relax with these, plus other interesting features that will help you understand how you can cope through this health crisis. Let's take the trip.
Government has implemented a nightly curfew island-wide as a means of containing the spread of COVID-19. The duration of the curfew is for a period of 7 days, from April 1 to April 8. Movement is restricted between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m.
There will be restriction on public transportation and all movement except for medical staff, security forces, essential services, and special provisions will be made for other critical industries. We ask everyone to make the necessary arrangements in their daily affairs to ensure that they can be off the road. Person saying that we have imposed stay-at-home orders from 8 p.m. on the 1st until 6 a.m. on the 8th. That means from you going at 8 p.m., you don't come back out until 6 a.m. on the 8th. That's not the case. Each person shall remain indoors during the hours of 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. each day. We well understand, Mr. Speaker, that the government's general policy thrust is to have persons as much as possible stay at home without impacting in any severe way the productivity of the country. It's a very difficult balance to achieve, and it is becoming increasingly difficult as we transition from having local spread of the disease into community spread, where we are expecting that there will be an increase in the numbers of cases confirmed as being infected with the COVID-19 disease. There are some exemptions to the stay-at-home rule. Members of the Houses of Parliament and persons employed to the Parliament. We are exempting our permanent secretaries. Again, for the same reason. Any member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defence Force, any person employed in a service concerning the provision of health, water, electricity, public works, sanitation, firefighting, civil aviation, or telecommunications. And that would be your classic essential services. Veterinary surgeons licensed under the Veterinary Act, immigration officers and custom officers, they are exempted. Correctional services officers, they are exempted. Persons employed in the transportation of agricultural produce or livestock or employed in the poultry industry, persons employed in the sugarcane industry, persons employed to tourist establishments as defined by the Public Health Tourism Establishment Regulations 2000. So, of course, Mr. Speaker, we would want to have guests in hotels and staff not being able to come to work to maintain the hotel. Persons employed in services connected with oil refining and with the loading, distribution, transportation or retail of petroleum, liquefied natural gas, or any renewable energy source. Persons employed in services connected with the loading and unloading of ships and with the storage and delivery of goods at or from docks, wharves, and warehouses operated in connection with docks and wharves. Persons employed in the provision of public transportation by the Jamaica Urban Transit Company or the Montego Bay Metro Company Limited. The judiciary and persons employed to the courts, persons employed to business process outsourcing, persons employed to the media, persons employed to businesses providing private security, they are exempted, persons employed to the Jamaica Printing Services Limited, persons employed to the toll authority established under the Toll Road Act, persons employed to courier services, and courier services, especially those that are couriers for cash, who pick up and drop off cash, persons employed in the bauxite or alumina industries, persons authorized in writing by the Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, and persons employed in any service or activity designated in writing by the Minister with responsibility for national security with the approval of the Cabinet as an exempt service or activity. It is required that those persons are exempted only on the basis that they are on the road or in a public space in pursuing the reason for their employment.
Economic activities have been significantly curtailed as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. To offset the adverse impact, the government is providing a fiscal stimulus to support people's livelihoods. More on that in this next feature.
The world is facing the most serious disruption to our way of life since the Second World War. This pandemic is nothing like the world has ever experienced before. We need to be prepared for the worst and be ready for a very significant growth setback. As Minister of Finance, I wish to assure the people of Jamaica, Mr. Speaker, that the government will do all we can to ameliorate the effect of this pandemic and to give us the best chance of a speedy recovery. We will be implementing an unprecedented $25 billion fiscal stimulus consisting of a $15 billion tax reduction and tax measures and a $10 billion spending program. Our first goal will be to protect the neediest people from the worst effects of this COVID crisis. We'll be channeling $1.1 billion in additional funding to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security to be used to increase the past cash grants during this period, April to June. Pension payment for June will be automatically made on the basis of the last life certificate on hand without the need for renewal in April, Mr. Speaker. We will allocate an extra $150 million to the Ministry of Local Government to supplement the Poor Relief Program and their budget in general. We will be reallocating expenditure in the MICOF budget to provide $200 million for relief to small farmers. For loans currently in repayment, the Student Loan Bureau will waive late fees for the period April, May, and June. And the Student Loan Bureau, very importantly, will defer the repayment of all loans, principal and interest, for 3 months. We care and help is on the way. We introduced the COVID allocation of resources for employees, the CARE program. We will introduce the Business Employee Support and Transfer of Cash, the Best Cash program, which will provide temporary cash transfers to registered businesses operating in the hotels, tours, and attraction segments of the tourism industry who are licensed based on the number of workers they keep employed who are under the income tax threshold of $1.5 million. We Care and Help is on the way. To qualify, each tourism business will need to apply for Best Cash by filling out the required form online. They would then file their payroll returns as usual on the 15th of April, the 15th of May, the 15th of June. And for each employee with taxable income that is less than the threshold of 1.5 million that they keep in their employ, the government will transfer funds at a rate of $9,000 per fortnight to that tourism-related business by direct transfer to their bank account, paid monthly, Mr. Speaker. For the months of April, May, and June, Mr. Speaker, that will equate to $54,000 for each employee that they retain. We also understand that employees from industries other than tourism will be laid off. For that reason, Mr. Speaker, we will implement the Supporting Employees with Transfer of Cash, the Set Cash program, which will provide temporary cash transfers to individuals where it can be verified that they lost their employment since the 10th of March. Employees, Mr. Speaker, will be required to apply online, filling out an online application where they'll provide details on themselves and the employment that they lost. We will be working with employers and with the umbrella groups of employers to encourage them to fill out those P45 forms and upload so that their employees can benefit from the Care Cash Set payment. The unfortunate reality is that the employment status of many Jamaicans is informal. These are challenging cases, Mr. Speaker, but no less deserving. For the drivers on Juta, on Maxi, and JCAL who may not be in the formal system, Mr. Speaker, we will work with the umbrella organizations to see how we can best set up a verification system and how they can be included, Mr. Speaker. For the craft vendors in the various markets, we will work with those who control the venues from which you operate. And for the market vendors, Mr. Speaker, we will work with the municipal authorities who have registration lists. Apart from these categories I've mentioned, there are others. So, Mr. Speaker, what we will be doing is allocating a further $1 billion in additional funding to the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for them to work on this element of the CARE program, Mr. Speaker. We Care and Help is on the way. In response, Mr. Speaker, to the escalating dislocation that COVID is likely to have, Mr. Speaker, we need to step in with direct support to our small and micro businesses. All small businesses with sales of 50 million or less who file tax returns in the 2019-20 financial year and who file payroll returns indicating that they have employees on staff, Mr. Speaker, will be eligible for a one-time COVID small business grant of $100,000, Mr. Speaker. This intervention, we are budgeting that it will cost $800 million, and the government will make $1.2 billion available in the form of grants to businesses operating, especially small businesses, operating in the tourism and related sectors, Mr. Speaker. Up to the 30th of June, Mr. Speaker, Tax Administration Jamaica will facilitate the issuing of one-off or single-use tax compliance certificates to businesses who may fall into non-compliance. Tax Administration Jamaica will issue no new summonses or initiate any new court proceedings or enforcement actions for non-compliance until after the 30th of June. However, Mr. Speaker, reminders and notices will continue to be generated. We Care and Help is on the way. This is a test of our economic resilience. And we will eventually come out ahead.
Many of us tend to worry about how we'll be able to meet our needs and wants. It's perfectly normal. With social distancing recommended to prevent getting infected with COVID-19, many of us are buying supplies to meet our needs while we stay home for longer periods of time. But how do you ensure you're not overspending and also remembering to still save? Watch our next feature.
With COVID-19 now in Jamaica, we are being advised to stock up on hygiene supplies that can be used to protect ourselves, as well as to have at least 2 weeks' supply of food and water in reserve. A lot of us may not have the disposable income to readily do that, at least not without tapping into a little savings we have managed to put aside. But financial experts will tell you, whatever the need, it is important not to deplete our savings, and money management is critically important. But how to do that? First, don't rush to shop, or panic shopping as they put it. Why? Because you may buy things you don't immediately need, leading to wasted spending. Next, I would say assess your home situation. Check how many persons are in the family, if there are babies, toddlers, and persons with special needs. You should then decide on the amount of available money you have to spend. Make a list of the things you need. The experts suggest at least 2 weeks' supply of basic food items and medication. To help with your shopping list, it's a good idea to work out a meal plan for the period. Next, be disciplined. Try not to divert from this meal plan too much and finish the supply early. This would mean going back to the store to spend more money. Protecting your health is priority number 1, and being smart with your expenses actually supports that. We must remember that we are not sure how long the country will be going through this pandemic. So, as best as possible, we need to ensure our money can carry us through for as long as possible and hopefully have reserves for after.
From the data, we can see that most countries will enter a phase of rapid increase in cases. However, depending on the containment measures employed and the timeliness and effectiveness of their implementation, the severity of the increase in infections can be managed downwards. Empowering citizens with information that encourages responsible personal hygiene and community health behavior, such as washing hands regularly and staying home if ill, tracing and containing infected and contact cases, that is, quarantine measures, and implementing social distancing measures, gathering restrictions, for example, have real effects on slowing down and containing the spread of the virus.
It is said that by May, the country may have reached the peak of confirmed cases of COVID-19, but the recovery process and further containment measures may still be in place for a few more months. So, what else can you do to protect your financial health? A key thing is to not max out your credit card and income because you are worried that supplies will run out. Check for moratorium on mortgages and loans. Use this as a reserve cash flow instead of your pay or savings. I know it's easy to get off track with plans, but we have to be disciplined and we have to prioritize. Now more than ever.
Mosquitoes will breed in containers that hold water. Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, buckets, and tanks, or cover the water surface with cooking oil. Punch holes in all tins, plastic containers, and boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover old tires or fill with dirt. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs, and dispose of garbage by placing in plastic bags. Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. A message from the Ministry of Health.
We can strengthen our body's natural defense system to help protect against diseases. One of the ways to do that is by getting adequate vitamin C in our diets. Let's learn more in this next feature.
If you're like most kids, you've probably heard at least one parent say, "Don't forget to take your vitamins. Eat your fruits and salads. They're packed with vitamins." And you heed the advice. But do you know why? Do you know what exactly vitamins are?
Vitamins are substances that are found in foods we eat. Our body needs them to work properly. Each vitamin has a special role to play. For example, vitamin D in milk helps us develop strong bones and teeth. Vitamin A in carrots helps us to see at night. Vitamin C in oranges helps our bodies to heal from a cut. And B vitamins in leafy green vegetables help our bodies make protein and energy. There are two categories of vitamins, fat-soluble and water-soluble. Fat-soluble vitamins are the ones called A, D, E, and K.
When we eat foods that contain fat-soluble vitamins, the essential nutrients are stored in the fatty tissues of our bodies and our livers until our bodies need them.
The water-soluble vitamins are C and B complex. These cannot be stored in our bodies and will dissolve in water before our bodies can absorb them. Any vitamin C or B that our bodies do not use pass through our systems, mostly when we urinate. So they need to be replaced regularly to ensure a fresh supply every day.
But let's break it down and take a look at one of these vitamins, C.
Vitamin C is often referred to as the cold-fighting vitamin. It is also known as a wonder worker because it plays an important role in building and maintaining our tissues. Doctors say it can enhance the function of the immune system and plays a role in the formation of important enzymes in the body. Vitamin C is important because it protects the body from skin diseases, respiratory infections, and cardiovascular problems.
According to nutritionists, human beings cannot produce their own supply of vitamin C, so we have to obtain it through our diet.
Vitamin C is found in citrus and other fruits such as oranges, limes, lemons, tangerines, grapefruit, papaya, strawberries, melons, and cantaloupes. It can also be found in vegetables like tomatoes, broccoli, green and red bell peppers, potatoes, peas, raw lettuce, and cabbage.
Vitamin C can be lost easily during cooking, particularly frying, so it's recommended that people steam their vegetables to minimize loss.
Vitamin C is also good for preserving the body from aches, pains, and heart disease. If we do not have enough vitamin C in our systems, it could lead to health complications. Diseases or ailments may include gum bleeding, skin discoloration, lack of energy, tooth decay, poor wound healing, easy bruising, loss of appetite, and pain in the joints. According to medical experts, there are certain groups of persons who can easily use up ascorbic acid, that is, vitamin C found in citrus and green vegetables, more rapidly than others. These are alcohol consumers, smokers, diabetics, individuals under stressful conditions or fever, and the elderly.
It is important to remember that vitamin C is also a highly effective antioxidant.
For additional information on vitamin C, consult your doctor or nutritionist. You can also get valuable tips from any government health institution close to you. So be health-wise.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness has repeatedly shared that COVID-19, though a serious disease, is not a death sentence. So it's important that we treat each other with care and respect and follow the information shared by the government to safeguard our individual health and the rest of society.
Scientists and doctors globally are learning lessons from the negatives and taking comfort in this positive. Far more persons are recovered from the novel coronavirus than those who have died. That leads to one hypothesis. The coronavirus disease 2019 is not a death sentence. Globally, Globally, we have heard that thousands of COVID-19 patients have recovered from the virus and a smaller number have died. Unfortunately, on Wednesday, March 18, Jamaica recorded its first COVID-19 related death. The good news, though, is that a few of the patients confirmed with the virus are showing signs of improvement. The United States Embassy in Kingston has reported that patient 2, an employee of the organization, is recovering well. Positive signs for the country, which has recorded double figures of confirmed cases.
For the 14 persons that are under treatment, now we have 13 persons that are stable and are doing well. 3 are totally asymptomatic now, and we will start their discharge testing shortly.
They're actually doing quite well. As a matter of fact, the early patients looked quite well. They're eating, they're smiling. Of course, there's a tension of this new thing, but they're not incapacitated, right? We have some new cases now. I can't comment on those just yet, but certainly the earlier cases that we had who are still with us, they look like you and me. Most persons will recover. Probably about over 80% of persons will probably have a relatively mild illness. But there are persons that, for whatever reason, who will get a more serious infection. So persons over 60 tend to have a worse outcome, and persons with what we call comorbid factors, so persons who are hypertensive or diabetic or even asthmatic, tend to have a worse outcome. But that doesn't mean that everybody who has that will die.
It cannot be overstated.
COVID-19 is the name that they have finally decided on for the name of the disease. So that's coronavirus disease 19 for 2019. And the name of the virus that is causing that is now named SARS-CoV-2. So it's that new that persons had to deliberate for a while to say, what are we going to call this new virus? And what are we going to call this new disease?
Is it airborne?
In recent times, there are persons who are querying the possibility of airborne, but that would not be the primary method of transmission. It's just that we should now begin to think that it could be airborne.
Just to recap, remember, contracted COVID-19 is not a death sentence. Just call the Ministry of Health and Wellness if you see signs or have symptoms related to the virus. Do not proceed to your private doctor or a health facility.
We've come to the end of our half-hour journey. Be sure to join us again tomorrow for another informative edition of Jamaica Magazine. Until then, continue to watch these and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson, urging you to practice proper hygiene and social distancing so that we can all get to the end of this COVID-19 pandemic in good health. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.